How's it going, everyone? Today's a Thanksgiving special, and so I'm going to cover a few topics. Let's get started. How's it going, everyone? So today is the day before Thanksgiving, and I want to first thank you for everyone who has been subscribing to the channel, commenting on my post, and engaging with the content. I hope you found it special and very helpful through the last year. We'll have a lot more content coming to you in the next year, and today I want to talk about a few things. Right? I think there's a lot of turmoil with the case rises in COVID. We're trying to get our hands on an understanding of what to expect going into 2021. The house prices are going crazy, skyrocketing through the roof. And so I think we need to level set as to what to expect. And then we'll finish up here with some challenges for next year. And I want to, again, just share some ideas and some motivational thoughts as we go into the next year, okay? So, I'm someone that reads a lot of reports. I'm constantly monitoring what the banks are estimating. I'm looking at economic data from Fed and a number of other forums to understand how best to use my money, how best to invest my money, and how best to advise my clients on how they should be investing their money, okay? There's a lot of stake, having come from nothing and haven't earned enough income to make substantial moves now. I do not want to lose money. And as Warren Buffett says, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you don't lose, right? And so, I think, again, a lot of people are worried about the COVID cases, and we know that the vaccine to the general public will not be out until at least April, probably May. And even when it first comes out, there's only up to 50 million doses out there. So it's just not going to hit the entire population for probably some time. Now, with that, and when you look at what the reports are saying in terms of when will we see some sense of normalcy again, and it seems to be that Q3, Q4 of next year, so September through December 2021, is when we'll see some sort of stability back in our everyday lives. And until then, you can expect to see capacity restrictions. You can expect to see curfew restrictions like they have now in New York and California. You can expect to see some sort of shutdown. But right now, as is, with everything that's going on, the overarching one-liner, and this is coming from the banks and the reports, we are expecting a 2.8% GDP growth rate annualized in Q4. And Q1, they're expecting a contraction of between 0.1 to 1% in GDP. So we'll have a contraction in Q1. Q2 looks to be a nice rebound between a 3 to 4% GDP. And then actually Q3, Q4 could be as high as 7% annualized GDP growth rate. So what that means is that we're going to see some headwinds, some severe headwinds in the next 3 to 6 months. And we will see a rather robust rebound into Q3, Q4. That is, I think, what to expect. What that means for the stock market, honestly, I have no idea. It's been a wonky market as it is. PE ratios are out of control. I've actually shifted my portfolio quite a bit, reduced my risk in the S&P 500, and I've converted a lot of my positions to relatively undervalued stocks that have high dividend yields and that are stable. So really a defensive play as we weather out the storm. Real estate wise, I've been talking to my clients, and if I could find a good deal for a A class property, I would proceed. The problem is I cannot find a good deal out there. They exist. I think Durham, North Carolina has some potential, as well as Raleigh. I also think there are other markets like that have some potential, but you're going to have to think 3 to 5 years out, bet on the path of progress, buy in areas that will see the appreciation and the growth long term. But any proper city like Austin or Denver, it's just numbers don't make sense. It's way too late. It's making it really hard to invest in real estate rentals. It's not as easy as it once was. And so I'm having to pivot my strategies to be able to continue to grow my cash flow and my wealth and income And right now, rentals are a very hard asset to purchase. So with that said, I'm positioning my clients into private money loans that we're yielding 14 to 20% returns annually on those. So really good instruments to produce cash flow as we wait to see what happens. There are plenty of investors out there buying turnkeys, no shortage of that. So these loans are for those products, and we're seeing a lot of great success in that asset class. So not going to keep cash in the bank, because right now I think cash is a terrible asset to have. I think it's good to get your money into these income producing assets. So we're doing that. Again, this episode is about kind of what we've done in the past and where we're going. So I am still developing homes in Arizona. That's moving along nicely, and we'll continue to do that. So any of you investors out there that want to get involved in my projects, you can do so. You can email me, and if you are an accredited investor, you will have access to invest money in our future projects. They are very rewarding, and we've had a lot of success so far on that. So you can learn more by simply emailing me at tom@betterturnkey.com. And that is that. So again, as you go into next year, make sure that you have your tax records straight. You're going to want to have clean tax documents. Make sure you have all your expenses lined up so that you can reduce your taxable income, which brings me to my last point before I close. Again, I hope you all have a really nice Thanksgiving, but I want to give you a challenge. I want you to really double down on your tax strategy next year, okay? I want you to learn ways to reduce your taxes. I want you to find a CPA that wants to do the same. And I want you to understand and think about how you can reduce your tax liability for 2021 and ultimately increase the income to your pocket. Taxes are our biggest expense in life, and it's amazing how little effort and little focus people put into taxes. There should be a lot of focus in the taxes, given the amount of money that it takes from us every year. And look, I'm all for paying taxes for education and healthcare and everything else, but at the end of the day, we're not all multimillionaires, and until you reach that point, I think it's really pertinent for each of you to save as much as you can. So my challenge to you in 2021 is to really focus on your tax strategy. There's a great book by a guy named Tom Wheelwright. Now, I advise you, while the book is fantastic, and I'll put it up here in the video, his services are very expensive, and I advise you not to proceed with them. I have found an accountant that's 1/5 the price and does just as good of a job. But Tom Wheelwright is very expensive. There's an initiation fee to be part of the club. So while his book is fantastic, please do not go into that class. It is not worth the money. So there's that. Okay, so again, generally speaking, just to summarize this whole episode, there are some headwinds going into Q1. I think we're going to see a contraction in Q1, and we'll see a rather robust rebound in Q2 through Q4. I think real estate's going to be just fine. Again, the shortage in inventory is still one of the big tailwinds. We're going to see some foreclosures coming, and I'm hoping by that time, probably in Q2 of next year, there will be some deals. A little secret, I am targeting Las Vegas and Miami as areas that might have substantial deals. Those are areas that are already seeing pain, and I think that pain will continue. So when those prices drop, you can bet your butt I'm going to be trying to pick some of those properties up. But we still got some time for that. And until then, I am investing in hard money loans to increase my cash flow and my income and my wealth. So that said, again, I wish you all a great Thanksgiving. And if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. We just released a tax strategy course to all those that subscribe. So be sure to subscribe so you get access to these sort of classes and programs. So with that said, wishing you the best, and I'll see you soon.